Hi, my name is Kathryn, and I'm here to tell you a little bit of my story in hopes of giving you encouragement in yours. I have a feeling once you hear this story, you'll believe that it's possible. So, I came to know Jesse 11 days before my house was supposed to foreclose. My mother-in-law got in contact with me and said, "Why don't you give him a call? I don't know if he can help, but it's worth a try." So I placed that phone call, and Jesse came back to me right away and said, "Tell me a little bit more about your story," which was, I bought this house in 2003. I got divorced in 2006 and tried to hold on to the house for myself and my 3 kids, but it became impossible. And so the house was headed into foreclosure, and I had come to grips with that and was prepared and was making plans to move when I got in touch with Jesse, and he said, "Let's try to short sell the house," which would be a little bit more helpful to me in my situation. So he came out, gosh, I think the next day, and took pictures of the house. We talked about it. We threw it up on the market. That next weekend, I was having a garage sale, and at the same time showed the house to 20 people, couples, and by the next day had several offers. So we took that first offer, took it to the bank. They said, "Okay, we're going to let you do this," which was unbelievable that at the very last minute the bank would say, "We'll hold the foreclosure." And we started processing that sale, and we thought we were good to go. And right before it was supposed to go, the sale fell through. So we took the second offer, and we began working with that person. The bank again said, "Okay, we'll keep trying." Well, we ran into several obstacles. We had to extend the escrow several times and got into the new year. I had moved out by this point into an apartment, just trying to start fresh, and the house sat empty from September, and by the time this came around was January. So we started with this second buyer. We were continuing, going forth, and right before it was supposed to close, we get word that there's a slight problem, that there are several liens against the house. Not my liens, I will leave it at that. So again, we figured this was it. The house is going to go into foreclosure. Jesse and I talked about, it's been good. We're going to try one more time. And so he and his company worked really, really hard to get in touch with the lien holders and make an offer and try to come to an agreement to get the liens taken off the house so that we could sell it. Days and days and days and days and days went by, and I heard nothing, and I just left it. I figured he was doing his job, and I pretty much figured it wasn't going to work out. All of this is stuff that usually will not happen. Then we thought we were good with the second buyer, and we signed all the paperwork, thought we were good to go. And I didn't hear from Jesse for several months, September, October-ish to December. He called me one day and said, "Okay, just want to let you know that we got the house back." And I stopped him and said, "What do you mean you got the house back?" Well, apparently in one of the extensions of the escrows, the bank had not approved it. And they had turned around and, without us knowing, had sold the house at auction. A buyer had paid cash for it, was all set to take the house, and a phone call was placed to Jesse to say, "Hey, I'm sure you know about the house." And he said, "No, what do you mean?" And they explained that it had been sold at auction. So once again, Jesse got on it, and I'm not quite sure how he did it, but he managed to get the bank to take back the house and once again return it to us so that we could then. And so he called me up and said, "You won't believe it, but we've got it worked out." And the arrangement is selfless and unbelievably gracious, and something that I will never forget. It went above and beyond what anybody should have ever done in this situation. So that brings us to now March. The liens were, I'm assuming, removed, and we were signing last papers, and we're here to finally hand over the keys to the house, and the new owner hopefully will enjoy it as much as we did. So there's my story. I hope that it helps you with yours, and you can always count on Jesse and the Greenhouse Group. Thank you.